Keanu Reeves is back in John Wick Chapter 4. In an effort to earn his freedom back from the high table, John Wick faces off against new and familiar faces. Alright, let's not even bury the lead here. You come to these John Wick movies for the action, and let me tell you, man, they stepped it up for this installment. The action sequences in this movie are nothing short of remarkable. From the choreography to the amount of time that it goes on, it's all shot in camera, it's in frame. You see everything that is going on with these action sequences. They also did some really cool and unique stuff with these action sequences. There's this one sequence that's shot overhead as they're running around this practical set. I swear that it's a long one-take scene, and it is mind-blowing to just see these actors hit their marks. The stunt work in this movie too, guys, is incredible. It's some of the best stunt work I've seen in a movie in many years. It's all practical. I'm sure there's some effects done in there as well, but the way that people hit the floor, the way they tumble, the way they fall, you feel every hit, and people fall a lot in this movie, let me tell you. But every body that hits the ground, every body that gets smacked into an object, you feel the impact. You just can't help but wince. It is so well done. It is so grounded for the majority of the time. It's that intensity that you want from this franchise. It's that exhilaration. It's that thrillingness. I loved every single action sequence in this movie, and it goes on for a long time. The movie is 2 hours and 50 minutes, but they do not waste a second, because not only do they fill it with loads of action, there are some action sequences in this thing that I wasn't sure if they were going to end, and I never wanted them to end. But they also fill the movie with a very compelling story. This very much feels like a companion to Chapter 3 because they are very connected story-wise. And in that sense, this really does feel like an epic finale to the John Wick franchise. Of course, you've got Keanu Reeves back kicking butt once again. You've got familiar faces that have been around since the beginning of the franchise, but you've also got some newcomers into this that were just fantastic. One of which we have to talk about is Donnie Yen. Donnie Yen in this movie plays a blind assassin, and I know you hear those words and you wonder how the heck can that even work, but the movie makes it work and Donnie Yen sells it. I loved this character. He's one of my favorite characters in the John Wick franchise now, and Donnie Yen is just incredible, not only with his performance as the character, but with these action sequences. The guy moves so fast in these sequences, it's hard sometimes for my brain to keep up with what his actions are doing. It is so exciting to watch, and I know I've said that a lot because I just can't get over these action sequences. This is an action franchise that really stepped up their game from an already remarkable game that they were playing in the previous movies. But the action works so well because it's so connected to a well-made story. Because John Wick, he's trying to earn his freedom. He's trying to get this bounty off his head put there by the high table, by this assassination organization. And there are definitely moments in the movie where it kind of feels like a video game where John Wick has to beat one set of bad guys, get a new quest that leads him to another set of bad guys that he has to take down. But that is just the fun of it, guys, is watching John Wick go through all these bodies. And this movie has a big body count this time around. I think it's probably the biggest body count in the entire John Wick franchise, and that's saying something. Honestly, guys, the issues that I have with this movie are kind of nitpicks in my mind. I mean, yeah, there are times in this movie where John Wick falls, and he should not be getting back up. No human being would survive, or at least not be paralyzed from what John Wick just went through. There's also moments, and I felt this in the previous movies at times, but I felt it a lot more during this movie, where it's almost like these people may as well just be invisible to the world. Because there are times where there are violent action sequences going on in a public area, and nobody bats an eye. There's a fantastic gunfight sequence that takes place in this setting surrounded by moving vehicles, and they actually use the vehicles to throw some of the guys into and kill them. And these are just civilians that are driving around as far as the movie tells me. And these cars don't stop. No one calls the police. No one bats an eye. When someone gets thrown on the hood of their car, they just honk and move along with the rest of their day. It is absolutely ridiculous. You just kind of have to buy into it. But to call that an issue that would have ruined the movie for me, I would have to say that I don't like the John Wick franchise. And I love the John Wick franchise. And they did such a great job with this fourth installment, I can hardly contain my excitement for it right now. I loved this movie from the direction, from the performances, from the choreography, action sequences, the story. Everything just gelled. Everything just worked for me. They did an incredible job with this movie, and without getting into any spoilers, this definitely felt like a finale to the John Wick franchise. And if this is the final John Wick movie that we get, if this is the final installment in this franchise, bravo to everyone involved. You killed it across the board. This is, without a doubt, one of the best action franchises in cinematic history. John Wick Chapter 4. Oh, man, I love saying this because it's been a little bit. You get a strong recommend. Guys, go out and see this movie. Support it, especially if you love the John Wick franchise. I don't see how you could be disappointed. Anyway, guys, those are all my thoughts and opinions on John Wick Chapter 4. What did you guys think of John Wick Chapter 4? You loved it, right? Tell me you loved it. I'm just kidding. If you didn't love it, that's totally fine. Everyone has their own opinions. It's all subjective, and I want to hear yours. So comment down below and let me know. And guys, if you're new here and you didn't know, we have a goal on this channel. We want to hit 2,500 subscribers by the end of the year. If you like talking movies, you're definitely in the right place. Consider hitting that subscribe button, checking us out, and we'd love to have you join our community over here. And thanks for watching the video, guys. Until next time, I hope to talk to you guys again real soon.